OneKey recently launched a new version of their OneKey Classic wallet called the OneKey Classic 1S. Now, it's nearly identical to the previous Classic model, which I've been using for about a year now, except there is one pretty big upgrade that, in my opinion, makes it even better. So the OneKey Classic 1S is OneKey's new entry-level wallet. Previously, it was the OneKey Mini and then the OneKey Classic, but since the 1S is replacing the Classic, it is now literally the new entry-level wallet for OneKey at least. And let's just start there. It's the exact same design as the previous Classic model, which I always refer to as the bare bones model because it's so basic, but that's not a bad thing by any means. It's super slim. It's about as thick as two cards stacked on top of each other. And of course, as a result, it only weighs about 20 grams. It also has a 110 mAh battery, which is pretty small, but that's because it has a basic OLED screen with a 128 by 64 resolution. So it doesn't require a big battery. And in my experience with the original Classic wallet, it always held a charge just fine. To navigate the device, it has 4 buttons. It has a power button, an up and down button, and then a confirmation button. So now you know what I mean when I say it's a bare bones wallet. But hey, it works, it's simple, and it is $10 more than the previous Classic model, so it's just $99, which is still, a really good deal. It's coming in right under $100. And if you use my discount code in the description of this video, you can get 5% off your order, so it makes it barely more expensive than the previous model. That said, compared to competitors like the Trezor Say 3 or the Ledger Nano S Plus, which both cost $79, you are paying slightly more, but I think it's worth it. And here's why. Not only do you get a larger screen and more buttons on the Classic 1S, which just make it easier to use overall, but more importantly, you get really good software. Now, that's not to say that I don't like Trezor software, Trezor Suite, because I actually really do like Trezor Suite. And when I used Ledger wallets in the past, I really enjoyed using Ledger Live as well. But OneKey software has one main advantage over most other hardware wallets, and that is its compatibility. So not only can you use OneKey Wallet, which is OneKey's software wallet that you use with the hardware wallets, on all devices, including Mac, Windows, Linux for desktop, iOS, and Android mobile devices, as well as Chrome, Edge, and Brave browsers. But their software is also compatible with a lot of third-party wallets like Trezor Web Wallet, MetaMask, and Sparrow. And something I always like to share with people who are considering getting a OneKey wallet is you can actually use the OneKey wallet software without ever buying the OneKey hardware wallet. And the software, you can just download it as a browser plugin, or you can download it as a mobile app or a desktop application, completely free, and basically use it like a hot wallet. And this way you can get a feel for how the software works, if it's easy enough for you, if it's compatible with your devices and all the coins that you want to hold. So you can basically give it a trial run before you ever even buy the physical hardware wallet device. And speaking of coin support, the 1S supports more than 5,000 coins and tokens across 60 different blockchain networks. Of course, it supports all the popular blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Base Layer 2, and Ripple, to name a few, which makes the S1, in my opinion, a good Ledger alternative if you're looking to get out of your Ledger wallet, because it supports all the same coins and tokens that Ledger supports, and then some. All right, so far the Classic 1S is exactly the same as the previous Classic model. It looks the same, and it's just as compatible. So what's different about the 1S model? To understand what's so significant with the new 1S model, we have to rewind a little bit and talk about the previous Classic model. So this model used an ASEC C608 secure element, which isn't the most common secure element you'll find in most hardware wallets on the market. But the good thing about the secure element is that it offered the highest level of security while still allowing everything to remain completely open source. However, most cold wallets on the market like the Ledger Nano X and the Trezor Say 3, for example, use an EAL certified secure element chip. Now, the good thing about these chips, EAL certified chips, is that they are put through rigorous testing and evaluation of various security features that make them the most secure chip on the market, whereas the 608 secure element chip that was used in the previous Classic model are not put through those same tests. So you could say they're less secure. So you might be wondering, why don't all hardware wallets just use an EAL certified chip? Well, like I said, most of them do. The reason OneKey was using this 608 chip is because they are really dedicated to being 100% open source, and the 608 secure element allowed them to do just that, from the actual secure element itself to their firmware and their hardware, everything 100% open source when they used the 608 secure element. But now with the new Classic 1S model, OneKey decided to use an EMVCO, which stands for Europay, MasterCard, and Visa EAL6 Plus secure element chip to further enhance its security. And this chip also meets specific security standards relevant to the payment industry to ensure it's suitable for handling all types of payment transactions. Obviously, in the case of this wallet, crypto transactions. So even though the previous Classic model is still more than secure, at least in my opinion, I think OneKey realized that using an EAL certified chip was more of the industry standard, whether that was for marketing or because the chip is that much more secure. They just decided to use that chip and rebrand the Classic to the Classic 1S, which is what we are left with now. And even though the chip is closed source, OneKey still works closely with SlowMist. They've been working with them for a while. They're a blockchain security company who does all their audits. So they audit their firmware, their hardware, make sure there are no vulnerabilities or backdoors in the products that they're selling, which for me, is good enough. It gives me that peace of mind that the product is safe to use. For some people, an audit might not be good enough, but ultimately the conclusion I've come to is I'm trusting someone at the end of the day, whether that's the auditing company or the manufacturer themselves. Preferably it's the manufacturer and the auditor, or even if it's open source, you're trusting someone who knows how to read the code and tells you that it's safe to use. So at the end of the day, I'm trusting someone, and I'm okay putting my trust in an auditing company such as SlowMist. All that said, when it comes to hardware wallets, most wallets on the market share a lot of the same security features that the Classic 1S has, including the secure element chip, a user-generated PIN, a hidden wallet or passphrase option, and something I really like about OneKey Wallet specifically, not just the 1S, but all their models, is that you can double check the firmware you're using on the device is authentic OneKey firmware. But they actually take it a step further, beginning with their packaging, which you've probably noticed if you've ever had a OneKey wallet before and, got to go through the whole unboxing experience yourself. The box itself has tearaway seals, so that way you would know if someone, opened up the box, say during delivery. And then the actual wallet itself is wrapped entirely in a security seal as well. So maybe, the box had to go through customs and they had to open up the box. You'd at least know that they didn't get their hands on the physical hardware wallet because it is wrapped in that security seal, giving you that extra peace of mind. And I know the packaging, it's not a huge deal like the new secure element is, or like the other security features that are on the physical device. But just the fact that OneKey had thought about all these security features starting with the actual packaging of the product, it just goes to show how much they actually care about security, and more importantly, how the customer feels when they receive their hardware wallet. Because I know when I buy a hardware wallet, the reason I'm buying that wallet is because I want to secure my crypto. The only real downside of the Classic 1S is that it is really basic in terms of its functionality and its looks. There's no large touchscreen, and even though it does have an OLED screen, it is black and white. But assuming you're okay with how simple it is and not having a large touchscreen, I think the Classic 1S is one of the best hardware wallets on the market that you're going to find for under $100. But if you are after something a little bit fancier with a larger colored touchscreen, you should definitely check out the OneKey Pro in this next video. It has a lot of the same features that the Classic 1S has, with even more features in terms of security. I'll see you there. Peace.